Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk, back another video day. And today, the Philadelphia 76ers are signing Paul George. Not a surprising move that Paul George is going to the Philadelphia 76ers. And obviously, after the Clippers announced that they were parting ways with, Paul George and they were moving on. And then Orlando signing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to $22 million a year, 3 years, $66 million deal that comes with a player option. Orlando's not really in the market to bring in Paul George anymore. He was meeting with Philadelphia. He was meeting with Orlando. He was meeting with the Clippers. Obviously, the Warriors had some interest, but they were out on Paul George. So now, after that, we are witnessing the 9-time All-Star, 1-time Steel champion, 6-time All-NBA, and 4-time All-Defensive NBA, joining the Philadelphia 76ers with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. And now the Boston Celtics are really seeing some difficult threats in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks have built a really nice team offensively and defensively, and the 76ers have built a really nice team. I guess you could say offensive and defensively, mostly offensively. And then, look, hopefully, I guess we could all, also maybe assume that Giannis will be more healthy next year in the regular season and postseason, and maybe Damian Lillard will be a little bit more comfortable in Milwaukee. So Milwaukee might be better next year as well. So I think this Eastern Conference with, adding in Paul George, adding in Mikal Bridges to New York, this New York team, the New York Knicks are going to be really good with, Bridges and OG Anunoby defensively, and then also having Brunson, Josh Harden, Dante DiVincenzo, and potentially even Julius Randle if they don't let go of him. So they have a really solid team. Could make it even better by re-signing Hardenstein. And then you look at the 76ers, they have Maxey, they have Paul George, they have Joel Embiid. This is a really nice big three. Paul George this past season with the Clippers being an all-star for back-to-back seasons. 74 games, 74 starts, 33 minutes per game. His field goal percentage was 47%. From three, he shot like 37%. He averaged 23 points per game with 5 rebounds per game this past season. I think he had like 3 or 4 assists per game as well. Paul George is a great three-point shooter. He's a great scorer. He's a great defensive player as well. So he's going to be great defensively for the 76ers team, scoring, obviously, and, three-point shooting. So I'm really excited to see Paul George and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, play together. And I think this is going to be one of the best 76ers teams we've witnessed since, that 2018-19 team that had Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and, also a good Ben Simmons. So I think this is going to be the best 76ers team we've witnessed since then. Look, I think another 2 solid additions that the 76ers made prior to this signing. I love the Eric Gordon addition. I love the Andre Drummond addition. Andre Drummond is the best backup center in basketball. Averaged 9 points per game and 9 rebounds per game in only 10 starts out of 79 games this past season. I think he only averaged like 20 minutes per game as well for the Bulls. And, if you see Joel Embiid go down at any point, you have Andre Drummond, who's a guy who, if becoming a starter, would probably average, Drummond would get good minutes if playing as a starter. If Joel went down, Joel Embiid missed 43 games last season. If he goes down again, Drummond, I think, is a guy as a starter, as just not going over as a backup center as well, but as a starting center, probably go out there, give you 12 to 15 points in the area of 12 to 15, maybe higher rebounds per game. He did that many times for the Chicago Bulls this past season. I love the Eric Gordon and Andre Drummond additions, and then I love the re-addition of Kelly Oubre Jr. on a huge cheap deal. 3-year, $16.3 million deal, $5.4 million a year for someone who averaged 15 and 5 last year. That is a huge deal for Philadelphia. But there is more coming for the 76ers team, because I want to add, the 76ers team right now, if you look at their roster, only 9 guys on their roster. There's 6 spots to fill on this roster. And if you look at it, if you just build out their depth chart right now and what it looks like, Maxey at shooting guard, Maxey at point guard, Eric Gordon at shooting guard, Paul George at small forward, Kelly Oubre Jr. at power forward, which is he's more of a small forward, Joel Embiid at center. Then off the bench, this is where things get tricky. You have Andre Drummond, your first-round pick at 16th overall, Jared McCain, Ricky Council, and Paul Reed. The 76ers need to fill out some depth here, and that's why I keep saying that the 76ers are not done. The 76ers are going to make a bunch of other additions or re-additions from their team last year, because here's why. The 76ers, look at their 4 players off the bench. Obviously, you have Andre Drummond, who's going to be your backup center. He's going to be great. I'm not going to say Jared McCain might not play, but he's your first-round pick, 16th overall in a weak draft. And then Ricky Council, solid guard, I like him, but he's someone who only played 32 games for the 76ers last year, only averaged 5 points per game. And then Paul Reed. You're not going to have 2 centers in the backup rotation. So this is not a backup rotation. This is 2 guards and 2 centers. One of the guards, if you look at the 2 guards, one of them is a first-round pick who I don't see getting a whole ton of minutes in his rookie season in Jared McCain. And then the other is a guard who only averaged 5 points per game in his first year last season in 32 games. And then look at the 2 centers. Obviously, Paul Reed and Andre Drummond are really good, but you're not going to have 2 centers playing, Paul Reed and Andre Drummond. So right now, I think there's only 1 or 2 guys in this rotation who the 76ers could really use in their rotation, in Drummond and Jared McCain. So 76ers still have some work to do in free agency, and I think we're going to see free agency move a little bit faster than before now that Paul George has made a decision. I think a lot of players are waiting on the Paul George decision. Obviously, I don't think teams were, because I think teams had a good idea where Paul George were going after Kentavious Caldwell-Pope signing with the Magic and making his decision, and the Clippers knowing what they were doing. I think teams knew that the 76ers were going to get Paul George. But I think a lot of players are waiting to see for this signing to happen, because not only do you have some players who would think about going to Philadelphia if Paul George was on their roster, but also players are like, all right, I know Paul George is going to Philadelphia. Now I might go to this team. Maybe that's the Clippers now that they're looking for something. Look, guys like Tobias Harris and DeMar DeRozan might get interest now from the Clippers, so they might come off the board. Let me know your thought. Look at Klay Thompson, who had interest from Philadelphia. That was a team that was looking at him. They could still make it happen, although I doubt it. So, with that being said, Klay Thompson could have come off the board. You're going to see free agency moving a little bit faster now that the biggest name has come off the board. Well, I guess we're still waiting for LeBron James, but I don't really count LeBron James just because of the fact that we all know where he's going. LeBron's going back to the Lakers no matter what. I think everybody knows that. So, but no one knew where Paul George was going. Now we know. Let me know your thoughts on the signing in the comment section, and peace out.